Good morning. Today's lesson is about analyzing graphs of functions. We need to find zeros, which is known as roots. Also, we need to test for line symmetry or point symmetry. And in another lesson, we'll do the even and odd functions. Assume the revenue function r of x given for this formula, or by this formula, 17.7x to the power 3 minus 269x squared plus 1458x minus 910. This is in millions of dollars. We need to estimate the revenue when we sold 9 units. So what you need to do, just to replace x by 9 and you get the answer. Just replace here 9 becomes 9 cubed, and this 9 squared, and 9 and minus 910. You do all that. And you get $3,326.3 million of dollars. In general, a function, if it's drawn this way, and you have like on the x-axis 1, well, this is the value, which is f of 1. So if we plug in 1 here, we get the value f of 1 from this revenue function. So in general, if you have x, this height is the f of x. You can try to solve the guided practice in your book on page 14. Now we need to find the domain and range of graph functions. For example, here this graph functions, it has a minimum value is -8 and increasing up to f of -4, but this is undefined. Then decreasing up to say -6 and increasing again up to infinity. What is the domain of this function? The domain of this function, just like we have to see points that are defined on the x-axis, that's starting from -8 up to infinity. So we use interval notation from -8 to infinity, except -4 because undefined as a point on the x-axis. We can also write it in set builder's notation, x, such that x greater equal to -8, x does not equal to -4, and x belong to the real numbers. The range is like from the minimum value, which is -8 on the y-axis, up to infinity, because it's keeping up to infinity. So the range, use the set notation from -8 to infinity, where is -8 included and infinity is not. Solve the guided practice on page 14 at the bottom of the page in your pre-calculus book. Also, we need to find here the x-intercept and the y-intercept for some functions. Note, to find the x-intercept means you have to replace y by 0, or f of x equal to 0. This is you finding the x-intercept. It means where is the function intersect with the x-axis. Like for example, in this function we have 3 values. This value, first value, second value, third value, all of them is x-intercept, and the y must equal to 0. The y-intercept, we just have to replace x equals 0 in the function, x equals 0 in a function given, and you get the y-intercept, where the function intersect with the y-axis. Assume you have here f of x equals -2x cubed plus 4 divided by 3. We need to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. To find the x-intercept, we need just to replace y by 0. You just make the whole function equal to 0 and you solve it for x. To find the y-intercept, you just make x equal to 0, which means I have just to delete this one. Just plug in instead of x to the power 3, 0, f of 0, this will cancel, -2 times 0 cubed, cancelled, plus 4 over 3, so the answer 4 over 3. So we have a point 0 and 4 over 3. To find again the x-intercept, you make y equals 0, so you make -2 x cubed plus 4 over 3 equals 0. You do the cross multiply, you get negative 2x cubed plus 4 equals 0. You make negative 4, negative 4. So you have negative 2x cubed equals negative 4. You divide both by negative 2. So you get negative 4 over negative 2, which is equals to 2. You take the cubic root of both sides because we have the power of 3. So in this case, we have x equals the cubic root of 2. Where is the cubic root of 2? This is the point of the x-intercept, cubic root of 2. And the y-intercept, you have it here, which is 4 over 3. This one is 4 over 3. You know, as a point, this is just 0 and 4 over 3. And this is, as a point, is cubic root of 2 and 0. Now, what are the roots of y equal x cubed plus x squared negative 6x plus 4? This is a cubic function. You can use a calculator to solve this, or you can use different methods. Now, it's easier for you just to use the calculator to find the roots or the zeros of this function. And you get 3 zeros. X equals 1, x equals negative 1 plus square root of 5, and negative 1 negative square root of 5. Here you can make just practice. Find the zeros of roots of f of x equals 3x cubed minus 10x squared plus 8x. As a hint, you can just take an x. If you want to make the roots, you make f of x equals 0, and you start by taking, if there is any common factor, which is x, you open a bracket, you get 3x squared minus 10x plus 8 equals 0, which means you have if this equals 0 or this function equal to 0, and you solve it. You have b, h of x equals square root of 4x plus 1. You need to find the roots. You just make it equal to 0. You square both sides. For example, here, if you have a function like cubic root of 4x plus 1 equals 1. And we need to solve it. We need to find the zeros or the roots. What you need to do, you just need to cube this cubic function. So you get 4x plus 1 equals 1. Then x, you take 1 with 1, you get 4x equals 0. You divide by 4. By 4, you divide by 4, you get x equals 0. And this way we can find the roots for this function. I hope you understand the lesson. If you have any questions, please leave it on School Portals, or just we discuss it together in the class. Bye.